Which data analysis tutorial should I use? Assignment 3 for week 3, Edtech 505. My criteria for selection: as a person with a minimal background in mathematics and statistics and data analysis, I need tutorials that assume little or no prior knowledge, that present the information in small steps, that allow time to process and practice the steps, that are not too long, and that are engaging, but at the same time, they keep distractions to a minimum. My top 3 then, in order of appearance on the list, are number 11, number 16, and number 19. Math Learning Upgrade presents a short video under 2 minutes, which uses a song to teach how to calculate mean, median, and mode. Although it is more suited to children, it wasn't my first pick for top 3, but unsurprisingly, I found myself singing the song afterwards, which caused me to look at it again. I realized that the steps were being reinforced in my mind by choosing to return to the site. What works against it, though, is it offers no opportunity to practice or discover answers for myself or to get feedback. But as a video, I can insert my own pauses to reflect on the steps and practice before continuing. Standard deviation is not an easy concept for novices to grasp, but I was impressed by the fact that on this website, robertniles.com, I was actually able to understand some of what he was saying. Most of it I did understand, not at the bottom when he actually gave the formula, one of the formulas, but I appreciate getting the Excel version, which I would definitely use if I needed to. Although the site was text-based, I found it broke down the explanation and used color appropriately to really convey the spread away from the mean. The information presented was not very long, and even though it didn't provide opportunities to practice, it did explain how to compute standard deviation for persons who wanted to try it. However, since the purpose of this page was to provide an understanding of the concept rather than the execution of the concept, I appreciated that. And I also appreciated the use of language, the examples that were given, and the humor. The final video that I looked at was StatTrek, or rather the final tutorial I looked at was StatTrek. And what I liked about this was it provided a combination of text and video. And there was also a glossary of terms. There were also problems to solve, and the problems contain feedback. For example, you would have the symbol where you could just click the video, and once it loaded.
Hello, welcome to StatTrek's video tutorial on advanced placement statistics. This lesson covers variables.
It also provided problems to test your understanding of the lesson, and there was feedback given in each of them. What I didn't like about it, though, was that the solution was there, and people might be tempted to cheat rather than work out the problem on their own. Once you'd completed working on that lesson, it was easy to go on to a new one, and you could work through the information there. Now, it means that you don't necessarily have to go through it sequentially, because at the site they have all the available lessons available to you, and you could choose exactly what it is you wish to examine. Although the site is not really for beginners, I found it contained a wealth of information, and it could be reviewed repeatedly. The videos are relatively short, under 10 minutes, about 7 minutes or so, which means I would be more inclined to follow through to the end. It is not a flashy site, but it is a solid, serious site that feels trustworthy and complete. When reviewing the entire list, I found that generally speaking, the text-based tutorials provided more scope for practice and reflection, which are important for concept building. However, the videos were generally more engaging for learners who might stumble over reading. I think this is because the video strips away words and focuses on the essential manipulations of the numbers. On the other hand, some text-based tutorials were bland in layout and thus unappealing. Equally, some videos struggled with the unnecessary use of sound and design issues, and the speaking voices of some of the presenters could be distracting, or else they ramble somewhat. So that concludes my review of the tutorial list. Thanks for watching.